In this video, I'm going to share how I transplant my hot pepper plants into larger pots. And I'm also going to share how I separate seedlings whose roots may be intertwined and separating them without damaging the roots. So let's get started. I'm going to be transplanting them up into these pots here. These pots I got for free at Home Depot. At Home Depot, if you go near the garden section, they'll have a rack of empty plastic containers. More than likely, they will be free. Now, I used to transplant seedlings into a larger pots, but I found that the soil stays wet for way too long because the seedlings are not using the moisture. So I started to transplant a lot more gradual now into smaller pots. We'll be using ProMix moisture potting mix. The reason I use this soil is because it's the best soil I found in my area. Um, I don't have a lot of choices around here. All I have is Home Depot and Walmart. I found this at Walmart and it produces the best plants so far from what I found. The only reason this soil is not rated as organic is because it has a wetting agent, which I don't mind. The only downfall with this potty mix is that not all plants like it because it holds a lot of moisture. I've noticed that when I water my pepper plants, they show signs of overwatering almost immediately. So in order to prevent that, I'm going to mix the Pro Mix with perlite. The perlite is going to aid in aeration and drainage. So we're going to do 1 part perlite, 2 parts Pro Mix. I usually mix it in a bin. This is pretty compacted. It says it's 2 cubic feet compacted down to 1 cubic foot. Now this soil does have mycorrhizae, and I believe that's maybe the reason why it works so well. And technically, there's no soil in this potting mix. There isn't any nutrients at all either. So we'll just mix these up. Get rid of some of the clumps. And I always wash my hands before I touch the soil. I'm more worried about contaminating the soil than the soil contaminating me. All right, that looks nice and even. I'm gonna fill this almost all the way up, leave about an inch gap. I may top it off, but what I like to do is water it before I put the plant in. What watering it beforehand does is it helps the soil either settle or expand. So that way I'll know if I need more soil or not. And also, it leaves a nice wet surface for the roots. And it's easy to make a hole, and the hole will stay open for you. That looks about right. Now these are Carolina Reaper plants. I purchased 12 seeds from Puckerbutt Company. All 12 seedlings emerged. There were a couple that are little weaklings. I got rid of one, and here goes another right here, a little small one right there that I'll also be getting rid of. So eventually I'll be transplanting 10 of them. Try to do this with one hand. Just gonna massage the bottom a little, push up from the bottom, pick up from the stem. Place it right in. And I just want the top to be flush with the top of the soil, and that looks just about perfect. I noticed that the soil did not expand much, and I have a huge gap, so I'm going to add more soil. It looks just about good. I won't bother re-watering it because the entire root mass is in wet soil, and leaving the top dry like this helps to prevent fungus gnats and other diseases. Now I'm going to share how I thin out my seedlings without tearing any of the roots. Here I have my containers that I prepped just like earlier, except I made the holes a little bit larger. This is the same type of water I water my plants with. I made sure that they were at the same room temperature as where the plants were at to prevent any shock from any temperature change. So what I do is, now this could get a little messy. They could have been a little bit longer there in the pot, but I will put them in the water, and the water will help loosen the soil and the roots. So right now I'm just massaging the water into the soil. Now there was 3 plants here. One I was thinning out, so I'm not worried about that one. I'm just taking care of these 2 here. Massaging the roots. I feel a little tension here. See, it's a little tangled. Just massage them a little in the water, and they will come apart without any tearing at all. Oh, there's a little at the bottom. There you go. Oh, we have one down here. But here you have one. 0 roots were torn here. And I'll just guide it right into the hole and push the soil up against the roots lightly to help prop up the plant. I've done this many, many times without any transplant shock. And here goes the one I'm not going to be using. Here's a bigger one. I got the leaf a little dirty, but here's the root ball intact. And it's going to go right into the hole. So I made the hole a little bit bigger than usual. And I'll press this up to prop up the plant. Not much pressure. And there you have it, separating plants without breaking any roots at all. Now, there's a couple of secret ingredients that I did not share in this video. One is found in the water. The other is found in the soil. Now, in another video, I'm going to share what they are, and I'm going to share why they're considered secrets, and they do make a huge difference. Thank you.